Greetings and salutation, coasters. It's Malzilla again with another mini, though in this case it technically may be a megasode. I'll let you decide what you want to call it. It's been a while. Obviously, Radri and I have been busy with stuff. It's been an interesting May, June for me. If anyone wants to come join us in the Discord, I'm happy to explain. But wanted to get on this recording. Been sitting on it for a few days now, just because a lot of news last week that I wanted to report on, but I wanted to figure out how best to present it. So it took me a few days to write it up. So here we are. Today's Megasode, Minisode, your choice of calling it, is going to be kind of on the state of the Sonic games, because we got a lot of news recently about that. I know on our main channel, we've been doing Sonic X reviews, we've done SatAM reviews, we've done the occasional comic, depending on if we feel like it, and certain scenarios. But again, this is the minisodes are kind of for me to kind of give you updates on what's happening and things we normally don't cover. So Sonic is a video game franchise. We don't really cover that portion a whole lot on the main, stream channels. So that's why I'm doing these little side projects. But this is the third one, so you probably already know that by now, hopefully. So, with that being said, usual plugs. If you like our content, subscribe to the YouTube page, follow us on Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr, join the Discord. Invites are on the socials. Come chat with us. We do vocal chats. We're thinking about maybe doing some streaming. Just, good times had by all. And again, so on and so forth. So, with all that being said, let's dive into the news. The first off is the new Sonic year, which is basically, a couple years ago they did Fast Friends Forever. Then it was, Live Fearless, the Year of Shadow. Now this year's theme is Racing Around the World, and kind of in homage to the main game that's coming out, which is Sonic Crossworlds, which had a lot of news come out last week. Let's get into the official stuff, and then we'll get into the non-official stuff. So, officially announced, they had a little segment on at Summer Games Fest, where we got a new trailer, featured the Babylon Rogues. It also featured a bunch of new characters. So, and by new characters, I mean both free DLC Sega characters and then paid DLC other franchise characters. So, the three introduced characters were Joker from Persona 5, of course, Ichiban Gatsuga from Like a Dragon Yakuza, and proving once again that Snapcube real-time dubs are in fact prophets. The gift of prophecy was given to Penny Parker. Hatsune frickin' Miku is going to be a free DLC. So yes, now Storm can get his dream of asking for death from Hatsune Miku. Plus, that's just free. There's also 7 more free DLC, which probably going to be more Sega Sonic characters. Plus, there's more Sonic characters to be announced. I think by now we pretty much know the base roster. But a couple of other news is the release date will be September 25th, so a couple months. Also was the price point. The base game is about $70, and the Digital Deluxe, which includes all the paid third-party DLC, is going to be $90. Now, this is coming off the heels of the Switch 2 and, Mario Kart, whatever its name is, price point. So, sadly, with the way the economy is right now, video game prices are going up, even for games that probably don't warrant that price range. The good news is, with a lot of the DLC, if you don't want the third-party DLC, because some of them, your mileage is going to vary, you don't have to buy the Digital Deluxe that would include that. You can just get the regular set. So, let's talk about the third-party DLC. So, third-party DLC was revealed at the Summer Games Fest was a Minecraft. So, the main characters in Minecraft, including the Creeper, a Minecraft track, and a little minecart as a kart racer. So that's going to be one of 8 third-party DLC packs. So, yeah, that's gonna, insert chicken jockey joke here. Again, I'm a little old for Minecraft. I never quite got the appeal, but for the young folks, especially those who kind of just went crazy with the movie, should be a sure way to bring in some new blood. Now, this leads into some of the unofficial releases, which there were a lot of leaks regarding, again, additional third-party DLC, i.e., I think it's pretty apparent that Sega and Paramount have made a blood pact because Sonic Racing Cross Worlds will not only get a SpongeBob SquarePants DLC with a track and a cart, 2 characters from that. They'll be getting a Avatar Last Airbender Legend of Korra DLC pack. And then, which this one is kind of surprising because it's going to be the last DLC pack, is the Ninja Turtles. So, Sonic and the Turtles are having an official crossover in their racing games. It's been a while. Sonic and the Turtles have a long history together, so it's kind of interesting, but nothing really in super official capacity. A lot of it has just been kind of small cameos. So, that's exciting. The Avatar, we'll see how that goes. I still like The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra. I know the new series is going to kind of, sounds like it's going for a more sci-fi, steampunk, almost cyberpunk, but we'll see how it goes. SpongeBob, I never quite liked SpongeBob. It's fine. There are some more DLC packs to be announced paid, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm thinking we might see Tangle and Whisper because Whisper's a extreme gear with a very Whisper-themed pattern was on it. Though, since those are Sonic characters, even though they're IDW first, I think they may be more on the free end, but we'll see how that goes. That's all really the main news for the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I'm sure Sega will have a presence at Gamescom in August, so we'll see how things go over there, but I think they've pretty much... The only thing really yet to be announced is a, solo campaign, a solo story campaign, but we'll see how that goes. But you do get crossplay with this, so that's really cool. And that about sums up the Crossworld information. Moving on to the really surprise leak, and we can start putting in, insert the X-Files theme right now because things have kind of taken a turn for the, dare I say, bizarre. So you may recall about I don't know, 4 months ago, Sega was revealed, the crazy community that is Sonic discovered that Sega filed for the trademark for Sonic Blitz as a video game. No one kind of went, okay, what the hell could that be? Some people thought it was sports, some people thought it was maybe another racing game. Well, it turns out everyone was wrong, because it turns out a couple weeks ago, beginning of June, Sega, through their new acquisition, Rovio, who was the brains and master behind this game, have released in the Philippines a kind of a soft beta test launch for a Sonic mobile card game. Now, this is more on the lines of Marvel Snap than, say, Hearthstone, Magic, or Magic the Gathering. These are supposed to be quick 12-person decks. And let me read what the Google Play Store, Apple Store says. Sonic Blitz is the fastest collectible card game and a place where we celebrate Sonic the Hedgehog and his long and beloved history. Collect cards, upgrade characters, and build teams from old favorites to new buddies. Expand and upgrade your collection of cards by opening new booster packs every day. The cards look and feel like collectible cards. It's always like opening a real booster pack. Build your team of 12 cards from all corners of the Sonic universe. Every character plays differently with their own special ability, and some can be even combined into powerful combo cards. So, okay, interesting. Well, things are getting really interesting because since this was released, even if it's a small one country, again, the Sonic community is never to be underestimated. They data mined the shit out of that. And what they found was stunning. Not only were there 3D models for characters like Lanolin, Tangle, Whisper, there were CG models for the modern day Mighty and Ray, Fang, the Battle Bird frickin' Armada. I mean, who we haven't seen, the Battle Bird since the Archie days. Even then, those are the Tail Adventure guys. Pachacamac has a model, so that means he's a card. But then they found, and these were not fakes, these were verified multiple sources in the code, cards for Princess Sally Acorn, Nicole the HoloLinks, Sonia, Manic, even Shade. Yeah. Some of the... has the rallying paid off for the Rally for Sally folks? It's really crazy on what this may intend. Now, before we get super excited, let's dial things back a little bit. Yes, these are files in the code. Nothing, there's no models yet. There's nothing. So let's dial back excitement a little bit. But these are files in the code. So did Rovio just said, hey, we just need to pick random Sonic characters? Will these actually ever see the light of day? Who knows? I will quote Nick the Game Apologist on one of his recent appearances on Sunset City in that Sega does need to swallow its pride if it wants to do a card game in the vein of Marvel Snap. Because if you want to do a collectible card game, you need to have as many cards as possible. And if you just use the cast that you're using right now, this will maybe last 2 to 3 months at that. Especially, if you're trying to make money off microtransactions. People are going to collect, and then they'll be done. So you need more cards. And you can't go we're just going to put Sonic in his various costumes from, say, Speed Battle. No, you need multiple things. I don't need 12 versions of Shadow. I don't need 15 versions of Sonic. Don't need 10 versions of Amy. Give me a Sonic. Give me a Super Sonic. Give me a Hyper Sonic. Give me a Phantom Rider. Super Shadow. Super Sonic Silver. But yeah, you know what? Give me a Bunny Rabbit and Antoine Depardieu, Decoulette, whatever version they use. Give me a Sally Acorn. Give me a Nicole. I mean, Shade, we'll see how that goes. That could be interesting. So you grab your popcorn if that actually comes out. But yeah, because again, Sega has access to all the Deke characters. Like, imagine a combo of summoning Sonic, Sonia, and Manic. And if you have all three, like, you summon Queen Alina, and she's like the Exodia. You just win. We can call it, the Triplets Born deck. Or, obviously if they have Pachacamac, we'll probably get Tikal, we'll probably get Chaos. Hell, we could even have Perfect Chaos. You could do the different forms of Chaos. But even then, kind of going back to, like, the D cartoons, Snively, Sad-AM Robotnik, the Freedom Fighters, hell, Scratch and Grounder. They're normal, they actually have Grounder in the game in his Badnik form, but they could do the cartoon version. Hell, we could even get Breezy. Not just, like, the Breezy from the cartoon, because in addition to the files that they found around Sally, they found a bio, and it's basically verbatim from the Sonic Wiki of her post-boot continuity. So maybe they have the post-boot models, because that's one of the things where I was skeptical, because everything Ian has said when he was answering Sonic questions on the Bubblecast was in regards to that if the Freedom Fighters tour ever show up again in, probably maybe this is the emphasis, the main continuity, either modern or classic, they would be more aligned into their Satam personas, or maybe their Spinball looks for those who actually were, cameos in Spinball. But, and that they wouldn't be like they're supposed to be, because according to what he said, a lot of those designs were owned by Archie. Now, again, Sega and Archie, I don't know what their, business practice, relationship is right now. I mean, it's been enough years have gone by. Maybe things have cooled down. Maybe Sega can just purchase the rights to those designs. I mean, that would be pretty awesome. Or, God forbid, Sega cracks a deal with you-know-who and gets access to all those, the pre-boot characters. Because again, you're gonna have to release all these cards, for a long period of time to keep the game interest going. So, who knows? This is gonna be crazy. I can guarantee you that we are gonna be paying close attention to this over the next few months. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm excited. I've been enjoying Marvel Snap, so I hope they can do it. And from the videos that they've been posted online of people playing the game in the Philippines, it looks to be similar in the vein of Snap, so it should be fun. I mean, I like Sonic, Speed Battle, but I'm always down for a new Sonic mobile game. So I'm rooting for Aerovio. If you bring back Sally, I will play. I know people will pledge eternal allegiance, and and if it's as it says, if you're going to honor every corner of the Sonic universe, it's time to dust off some of the old friends, and if they're popular enough, if there's enough excitement that they do show up, who knows, they may, especially if they get a model, they might end up in Speed Battle, and God forbid, maybe the comics or the games down the line, who knows. I do think this could be the catalyst to reunify a lot of the franchise and embrace all sides of it, because Sonic's for everybody, and there's a lot of characters that are someone's favorite, and everyone deserves to feel good and see their favorite characters. Even though, let me tell you, in Marvel Snap, there is an Uncle Ben card where if he gets destroyed, you summon Spider-Man. What you could do with a Chris Thorndike card, and what crazy shit you could plan on activation or destroyed or whatever, would be hilarious. You can have some major fun. Hell, again, give me a Chris card, give me a Cosmo card, give me a Styx the Badger, give me a Boom Eggman. Just go crazy with this. And that's the main news. There has been kind of a final rumor, and I don't really want to necessarily call this a rumor, but it's definitely worth noticing because it's popped up, and that is that supposedly the follow-up to Frontiers 2, or whatever the hell they're going to call it, is they're aiming for a November 2026 release. This would make sense because that would be about 4 years from the release of Frontiers, because that came out in 22. So it's been almost 3 years already. So, obviously you want Sega to put the time and the effort to get a good game, especially right now with how hot the franchise is. But, go beyond 4 years for a mainline game. That's taking a little too much time. So, my guess is we'll probably hear a teaser announcement, either maybe at whenever the next Sonic Central is, or, the Game Awards in December. So they usually do something. That's when they announce, Crossworlds. So tease Crossworlds in December, announced it in January, February, and then release in the fall. That seems to be Sega's new cycle of news and release. So here's hoping. I hope things go well, and Next time you hear from us, unless something crazy happens, I have to do breaking news. Next one should be Radji and I talking about Sonic X again. So until then, I'll stomp you later. See you, coasters. Hasta luego.